everyone, welcome to 5 Fun Facts. Today's topic is why sun is rising in the east and setting in west. The sun rises in east and sets in west because earth spins from west to east. Planets have prograde tilt rotation. To understand this concept, just consider one motion with the earth spin of its axis. Most people know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. However, most people don't realize that this is a generalization. Actually, the sun only rises due to east and sets due to west on 2 days of the year, on the spring and fall equinox. On other days, the sun rises either north or south of due east and sets north or south of due west. Each day, the rising and settling points change slightly. At the summer solstice, the sun rises as far to the northeast as it ever does and sets as far to the northwest. Every day after that, the sun rises a tiny bit further south. At the fall equinox, the sun rises due east and sets due west. It continues on its journey southward until at the winter solstice. The sun rises as far to the south as it ever does and sets as far to the southwest. If not, most prehistoric cultures tracked these rising and setting points with a great detail. If they had jagged mountains along the horizon, that exact points could be readily remembered. Without a suitably interesting horizon, standing stones could be arranged to line up with the various rising and setting points, or tree poles could replace the standing stones, or rock cranes could be used. How did this work? The diorama simulates the rising and settling points of the sun and its tracks across the sky at summer solstice, longest track, winter solstice, shortest track, and the spring and fall equinox, medium track. A bed placed on one of the tracks simulates the sun rising along the eastern horizon, traveling along the sky, and eventually set on the western horizon. It would be up for about 17 hours, thus making summertime days long and warm. On the winter solstice, you would observe the sun rising at the western end of the smallest track. It wouldn't rise high in the sky and would be up for only about 6 to 7 hours, making your day short on daylight and cold. At the spring and the fall equinox, the sun would rise at the east end of the middle track and set at the west end. Your days would be exactly off daylight and off night time, and you would experience typical warm, cool spring and fall climates. You can think the sun is rotating by why stars are rotating. Here will be the answer. The rising points of the stars don't change as much as the sun's because they are so very far away. So the rising points of the star on the horizon were not as critical to ancient cultures. However, the rising times of stars change by 4 minutes each day. So any particular star would rise at different times during the year. For about half the time, the star would rise during the daytime and thus be blocked by the huge light of our sun. There is something called the helical or drawn rise of a star, and this happened on only one day of the year. Thus, the drawing rising were extremely useful for keeping track for exact days. For an explanation and example of helical or drawn rising of stars. Thanks for watching. Please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe.